So here's the thing. I don't usually do videos that aren't game related in some way. On my main channel, I do Siege and Siege Education. On here, I make funny clips like once a year, and I do like VOD uploads once a month. I should really do more of those. But I've been doing so much fucking tech support lately for people, in OBS specifically. And I don't know who knows this about me, but I am very fucking nitpicky about tech shit. Like, I firmly believe that if you are a streamer, you should at least know, like, the very basics of your tools. In this case, you know, OBS is the tool. You can see, you know, my layout and everything. I'm gonna go through, like, basic settings in OBS that y'all need to know, and I'm gonna go through a few, like, smaller other settings so that we can be on the same page, and if y'all have, like, very simple, fixable issues, you at least know what you're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and open my settings really quick. Very first thing I want to go over. If you go into stream, down here, there's a button that says Enable Bandwidth Test Mode. If you enable that, what it does is when you transmit your data to Twitch, when you start a stream, it won't actually, like, go live. So you can test whatever you need to test. You can test if you've got, you know, if you've got lag, because it'll show your connection, like, on the bottom bar. You can test if your computer can handle it, because technically you're still doing all the stream shit. You're still, like, doing the encoding and everything. But when you're on bandwidth test mode, Twitch will not actually broadcast the data. You can just basically do, like, a private stream to test if things are working or not working. It'll even tell you, like, encoder overloaded. Like, it'll tell you everything. It's a stress test. It's a stress test if you need to test, are my new settings good? Do I have lag, etc., etc.? Please take full advantage of bandwidth test mode when you can. If you need to test something, it is so much easier to use bandwidth test mode than to either do a test stream, which will, you know, email all your viewers and everything, or to just say fuck it and go live and then everything's fucked because settings. Use bandwidth test mode. Use it. This thing is a lifesaver. Next thing, in the output tab, I'm not going to go over every single fucking encoder setting one by one, because that's a lot of fucking work. But I'll go over, like, the basic shit. The main thing is the bitrate. That's what I mean by the basic shit, the bitrate. When you are streaming, this is how much data you are sending to Twitch. This is how much you're giving them to work with. If you set it to a low number, like 500 or some shit, your computer will use less resources, but the quality will look like shit. But inversely, if you set it to 6,000, which is the highest Twitch can support, you will give your computer an aneurysm, but your stream will look fucking immaculate. Asterisk, there's other factors, you know. There's like a healthy middle ground. If you're doing, like, really fast motion, really twitchy, like, FPSs, you do want to go, like, higher, like 5,000 to 6,000 range. I usually stream at 4750, just as a good comparison. Every stream y'all have ever seen over on Twitch is at 4750 kilobits per second. I'm not going to go over every single fucking setting. If you want to know, like, how your specific encoder works, please look up a video on, like, NVIDIA NVENC H264, etc. That's another thing I want to go over really quick. The encoder. There are basically two kinds of encoders, and I'm gonna open MS Paint for this one. Your computer has two pieces of hardware. The CPU, CPO, we're gonna call it here, and your GPU, the GPO, we'll call it. What the GPU handles, in basic terms, is rendering video and rendering video game. That's basically what it does. Your CPU handles everything. It handles your internet browser. It handles your Discord. It handles your Spotify. It handles Task Manager, Windows. It literally handles everything. Why am I getting into this? Because there's basically two types of encoders. The most, like, common one is called X264. So X264 uses your CPU. It is basically like the bare bones minimum encoder. But if you can avoid using this, avoid fucking using this. Because you see this big list of everything here? You're now adding video encoding to this whole list of things your CPU does. And video encoding is extremely fucking stressful. So If you can avoid X264, please avoid it. There are some encoders that do rely purely on the GPU, like the NVENC that you saw in my settings. This one takes that video encoding from the CPU and moves it to the GPU, usually with better results because, one, the GPU is just doing less in general, but also because any GPU that has an encoder, like in itself like this, is usually way more specialized for encoding than the CPU, which is already doing everything. That's a brief encoder thing. If you can use a hardware encoder like NVENC, I don't know what other ones are out there. I think AMD has one now. Use these if you can, and use that bandwidth mode, their bandwidth test mode I talked about, to test these settings. X264, it will do the job, just your computer's not gonna be happy. Back to settings. I guess I'll go over the fucking audio thing. You've got two settings here, audio track and Twitch VOD track, if you enable this. I can't change it because I'm in the middle of recording. Twitch audio track, this is the track that will output audio to stream. Twitch VOD track is the track that will put out audio to the VOD. Y'all are probably wondering, no, I don't want to say my changes. Y'all are probably wondering how I get away with having like real music on stream, like Five Finger Death Punch and shit. I use the audio track setting. So I'm going to go to my advanced audio properties. Yes, there's a lot of audio settings. Yes, you might have anxiety over them. I do all the time. You can see here, I've got almost everything on track 1 except desktop audio, because I don't use desktop audio. But on track 2, the one that does go to the VOD, you'll notice Spotify is the only one that is unchecked. Track 1 is everything you hear on stream. Track 2 is everything you hear in the VOD, and Spotify is not one of them.
Let's go! God, we're fucking carrying this.
Yeah, we fucking are. Holy shit. If you're using music like I do, please just disable what track your music is on. It also makes it easier to edit VODs later and add your own music. Wink, wink. All right, video settings. And this is sort of, based on your hardware, etc., etc. Your base canvas is whatever size, all of this shit is in the back. Output scaled resolution. That is the size of the screen being sent out to Twitch. 1080p, is your basic 1080p, 720p, etc. I use a weird resolution. I use 1664 by 936. Looks really good on Twitch's end. It is not as stressful as 1080p. The lower resolution, the easier it is for Twitch to actually read it, and the easier it is for your computer to send it out. But when you set a resolution like this, the only rule is pretty much make it divisible by 8. Your encoder likes numbers by 8. I'm not going to go into a whole fucking tech spiel about it. Last thing I want to go over, the last basic setting. Go into your advanced audio properties, and you'll see there's audio monitoring here on the right side. There are 3 different kinds of settings here. Monitor off means that you're not going to hear what comes out on your end, and it's just going to go to stream. Like monitor off, for example. This is for my Discord audio. What happens is I hear the Discord audio. Monitor off will just not feed the audio back to me, but chat will be able to hear that audio. So that's what monitor off does. Monitor only means that you will hear it, but chat won't hear it. So, if you want to hear some audio and make sure it's safe for stream or whatever, this is what you use, because you'll hear it, they won't. And then there's monitor and output, which is you'll hear it and chat will hear it. You'll notice I have that one set up for my Biku bot, because I don't hear Biku bot unless this is on monitor and output. All the audio goes through, OBS. My alerts, monitor and output, because they only play the audio in the alert itself in OBS. I have no way of hearing it if I don't do this. Trigger fire, which is my other sound effects that never really get used. My stream elements, my sound alerts, all of these are monitor and output because they're the things I need to be able to hear. These are basically the 2 categories of sound you're gonna fucking do. Monitor off for the shit you don't want to hear. Monitor and output for the things you do want to hear. If you've been having issues not hearing your sound alerts and shit, double check your audio monitoring. Just trust me on that one. Maybe it'll be the fix, maybe it won't, but we'll see. And yeah, that's just a really quick basic OBS settings. Hopefully this helps someone out there. I didn't cover every single thing one by one, nor did I do a script for this really. I just did tech support this morning, and God, I thought about how many people need tech support from me. And yeah, peace.